Hello, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and always like my videos each time you come across it. Today, I want to talk about kingdom strategy, and I'll be using the book of Esther as a reference point. Why I like using Esther as a reference point is Esther exhibited all the strategic qualities that I admire so well. Now, we all know what led to the story of Esther, how Queen Vashti disobeyed King Ahasuerus, and Ahasuerus was angry and then led to her dethronement as the queen, and they needed maidens to come and contest so that the king can choose his queen. So one of the strategy Esther used is strategy of advantage. When you see an opportunity, take advantage of that opportunity. That was an opportunity that Esther saw. There are other maidens in the land, but Esther saw the opportunity and decided to go, not minding that she's a slave girl, but she chose to go. Highest, what will happen is either she'll be selected or she'll be rejected. But the most important thing is that she tried, and whichever way, it's better to try, because you never can tell you can succeed. So as a Christian, the number one strategy is strategy of advantage. Take advantage of any opportunity that you see. Don't sit at home and count and start considering whether you will succeed or not. Just leap. Take the advantage. When you see a good open door, take advantage of it. When you see a good opportunity as a Christian, take advantage of it. That is the number one strategy of success as a child of God that I want to give you. The second strategy as a child of God is strategy of divine favor. If you're a Christian, always pray for divine favor, that God should grant you divine favor. When Esther entered, she found favor before anyone she came in contact with. Even the king's chamberlain loved her, liked her as a person, and gave her special treatment. That means Esther, God's favor was upon Esther. As a Christian, you have to always pray for God's favor to be upon you so that you can excel in life. Number 3 strategy that Esther used is the strategy of secrecy. As a Christian, you don't need to be too loud. You have to keep some certain secrets. Anything that is not necessary for the transaction that you are entering, please don't expose it unnecessarily. Esther was a slave girl that went to contest with other people. Even people, the main indigenes of the land, she went to contest, to compete alongside them. Her uncle told her, don't let them know that you are an Israelite, that you are a slave girl. And she maintained it. If she had opened up, I'm telling you, it would have put her in a place of disadvantage. But because she kept the secret, she was treated equally. And she was given equal opportunity as every other maiden. Please, don't talk too much. Don't overexpose yourself. Don't disclose things that are unnecessary. It will not help. Anything that is not required in any transaction that you are to be involved in, please don't expose it. It's unnecessary as a Christian. You can do that when the right time comes, okay? First things first. Don't be in a hurry to open up. As long as it will not jeopardize the whole essence of what is being done. What they are looking for is a queen. Is Esther beautiful? Yes. Does she have good morals? Yes. Does she have the grace, the capacity to become a queen? Yes. The only thing is that she's a slave girl and it's not her making. So please don't disclose that unless you are asked. Anything that is not necessary for the transaction, leave it. Then the next strategy is strategy of recognition. As a Christian, when you go to a place, you have to recognize those that are there before you. You don't go there and start doing things on your own. Because let me tell you, anybody that is there before you know what you don't know as a newcomer. When Esther got there, other maidens, when they went to meet the king, they demand requested for one thing or the other and went on by their own power. But when it was Esther's turn to meet the king, Esther requested from the king's chamberlain what she used to meet the king, and the chamberlain knew what the king likes and gave it to Esther. And when she went there, she was successful. So anywhere you go to, please try. Follow person wey no road. Those people that are there before you, there are things that they know that you don't know. So you have to ask questions. That is the strategy of recognition. You have to recognize those that are there before you. Then, the first strategy that Esther used is the strategy I call the strategy of determination. Strategy of determination. Esther is this woman that has strong will. She's a determined person. When the evil death decree was passed on the Israelites by virtue of Haman's orchestration, what did Esther do? Esther knew that it's not her turn to meet the king. And what happens is that if it's not your turn to meet the king and you go there, one of the consequences is that you can face death penalty. But Esther said, if I perish, I perish. She was determined because she knew that an evil has been meted upon her people. She was determined to lay down her life for that cause. So as a Christian, for you to succeed in life, you must have that determination to succeed. The determination of if I perish, I perish. You shouldn't allow little things to discourage you. You must be a determined person. Even if you fall, you be determined to rise again. This is another strategy, the first strategy. Then the fifth strategy is the strategy of intercession. As a child of God, before you embark on any serious journey, before you embark on any serious matter, my dear, you need intercession. You need to pray. You need to pray. You can also ask people to pray for you. Just like Esther did, he told Mordecai that he should tell the Israelites, he should gather her people, that they should pray for her. And she too, she gathered her maidens and she prayed and fasted before meeting the king. So as a child of God, for you to be successful, intercession is very, very essential. And then, number 6 strategy is what I call strategy of strategic process. Strategy of strategic process. Now, what is the strategy of strategic process? When Esther has approached the king, and the king has held out his scepter, meaning you can leave, and then what did she do? She did not go straight to lay her complaint. She was strategic. She told the king that she wanted to hold a banquet for the king. She held the banquet the first day, second day, third day. Even the king was so pleased that he asked Esther, what is it that you want? She did not present her problem first. She was strategic. She has to win the king's heart. The king said, what is it that you want? Even to the half of the kingdom, I will give it to you. You see, that is being strategic. When you are a strategic person, you have to lay down your plans one by one, step by step. You don't need to just carry everything on your head. You have to be strategic. That's why I call it the strategy of strategic. You have to be strategic. And when immediately the king said, even to half of the kingdom, Esther knew that she has gotten what she wanted, because even the whole of Israelites, they are not up to half of the kingdom. So it means that half of the kingdom is on her palms. That means she can save the life of her people. And then, number 1, she has succeeded in winning the king's heart, and half of the kingdom is in her hands. And then she exposed Haman. All this while, she knew what Haman did, and she just maintained her secrecy. She did not reveal. She didn't say, Haman, you think I don't know what you have done? So you are the one that is plotting. Secrecy. She kept it. Haman never knew that he was dining with, the one that he wanted to destroy. In fact, probably as they were dining, Haman was praising her. That is why he went home and said, Kai, who am I? That the king is, I'm the one that the king has called to come and dine. That the king's wife is hosting the king, and the king invited me. He didn't know that the person that was hosting you, has plans, secrecy. Don't allow the people that you're doing business with to be a step ahead of you. Always be a step ahead of them. Have that secret that they don't know that advantage that they don't know that you have. Keep it. When the right time comes, make use of the advantage. But once you expose the advantage that you have, they won't. The first thing they will attack is that advantage, and then they will not do the next step. Assuming Haman knew that Esther was a slave girl, he will first of all attack her status as a slave girl, and then before attacking her people, and there will not be any redeemer to redeem her people. So Esther applied that strategy, okay, and half of the kingdom, and requested for her for the life of her people. And then another thing that's just like I talked about intercession, what did intercession do? When the king said, so who is that? He said, this Haman. The king was angry, and Haman saw that the king has determined evil towards him. He went back to fall at Esther's feet. May our enemies, those that plot our hurts, may they always fall at our feet to beg. So he went back to the person that he has already orchestrated evil against her people to plead for her life. And what happened? Because of the prayer, the intercession that has gone on, the prayers that has been made, the king did not see a man that was begging. What the king saw as he turned back was a man that was trying to molest. A man that was trying to molest his wife. He said, will you also molest my queen before my presence? And immediately, that was how every hope was lost for Haman. And they came in and said that he has been dug a gallows for, and it was in that same gallows that he dug for Mordecai. He was buried inside it with his family. So that is what I'm saying. So in life, you have to be strategic. I would like you to take your time and read the book of Esther. If you want to be a child of God that has strategy. If you want to learn about strategy, read the book of Esther. I know that you've not seen that book in that light before, but I saw a lot of strategy in that book, and I felt, and I have this prompting within me. The Holy Spirit prompted me to share it with you. As a child of God, are you strategic? If you are not, please follow these principles. It will help you. So, remain blessed. Shalom.